Your dog follows you to the kitchen, to the bedroom, to the bathroom. Literally everywhere, every single time you move. Sometimes it feels a little much, right? Maybe even a little annoying when you just want 2 minutes alone. But here's what's actually happening when your dog shadows your every step, and I promise you, it's not what you think. And if you believe this is just about separation anxiety or neediness, wait until the end. Because there's one reason your dog refuses to let you out of their sight that will completely change how you see this behavior. 1. Have you ever noticed that your dog doesn't follow everyone in the house the same way? They might glance at other family members leaving the room, but when you get up, they're on their feet instantly. Most owners think this means they're the one who feeds the dog or walks them most. Here's the truth. A 2016 study from Kyoto University discovered that dogs have what researchers call a primary attachment figure, and it's not always the person who provides the most care. It's the person whose emotional state they're most attuned to. When you move, your dog isn't just following you physically. They're monitoring your emotional frequency, staying connected to the one nervous system they've learned to read better than any other. So when they trail you from room to room, they're not being clingy. They're maintaining their link to the person they've chosen as their emotional anchor. That's not dependence, that's selective devotion. 2. But here's where it gets really interesting. Your dog doesn't just follow you randomly. They follow you more during certain times and certain activities. Think about it. When you're cooking, working, watching TV, they might stay on the couch. But the second you head toward the bedroom or bathroom, they're right behind you. Most people assume dogs are just curious or bored. Here's what scientists discovered. A 2019 study published in Animal Cognition found that dogs track their owners' movement patterns and can predict routine destinations with remarkable accuracy. But they don't follow every predicted movement. They specifically follow movements that signal potential separation or isolation. Your bathroom trip means a closed door. Your bedroom visit might mean sleep. These are moments when you'll be less accessible, and your dog knows it. So that bathroom stalking isn't random. It's calculated. They're maximizing contact before the inevitable separation, squeezing in every possible second of proximity before the door closes between you. 3. Now let's talk about what happens in your dog's brain when they can't follow you. Have you ever closed a door and heard them whining, pacing, or just sitting right outside waiting? Most owners feel guilty, thinking their dog is suffering. Here's the science. Research from the University of Vienna in 2018 measured cortisol levels in dogs separated from their primary attachment figures. The level spiked within the first 3 minutes of separation, but here's the fascinating part. Dogs whose owners frequently allowed them to follow showed higher initial cortisol spikes but faster recovery times. In other words, following you isn't creating dependency. It's actually building confidence through repeated practice of brief separations. When your dog follows you to the bathroom and waits outside, they are not being pathologically anxious. They are practicing trust, learning that closed doors open again, that brief absences end in reunions. Watch for this. Dogs who are allowed to follow generally handle longer separations better than dogs who are constantly forced to stay behind. 4. Here's something that might surprise you about the actual act of following. Your dog isn't just walking behind you. They're positioning themselves strategically. Pay attention next time. Some dogs walk directly behind you, some slightly to the side, some rush ahead and then turn back. Most owners never think about why. Here's what's happening. A 2017 study from Iopvo's Lorand University found that dogs adjust their following position based on environmental factors and their perceived protection role. If they walk behind you, they're often monitoring the space you've just left, checking for threats from the rear. If they walk beside you, they're in partnership mode, sharing the navigation. If they rush ahead and look back, they're scouting the path forward while ensuring you're still following. So that seemingly simple act of following is actually complex strategic behavior. Your dog isn't just tagging along mindlessly. They're actively working, contributing to what they perceive as a team operation of moving through space together. And hey, if this is changing how you see your dog, hit like and subscribe. It helps us reach more dog lovers who want to understand their best friend on this level. 5. Now here's the part that breaks a lot of hearts when people realize it. Your dog follows you even when it's inconvenient for them. Even when they're tired, comfortable, or in the middle of something enjoyable. Think about this. How many times has your dog been deeply asleep, clearly exhausted, and the second you stand up, they're struggling to their feet to follow you? Research on canine behavior patterns from the Animal Behavior Society shows that dogs will interrupt sleep, meals, and play to maintain proximity with their primary attachment figure. They're choosing you over their own comfort, over their own needs. Let that sink in. Your dog would rather be uncomfortable near you than comfortable without you. That tired dog struggling off the couch to follow you to the kitchen isn't being obsessive. They're making a choice, a cost-benefit calculation that always lands on the same answer. Being with you, even while exhausted, is worth more than rest without you. 6. Here's something most people don't know about the bathroom following specifically. It's not random that this is where dogs are most persistent. There's something about bathrooms that triggers their following instinct more than any other room. Most owners just find it awkward or funny. Here's the science behind it. A 2020 study in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior examined why dogs show heightened attachment behaviors around bathrooms and bedrooms. The answer is vulnerability. Bathrooms are small, enclosed spaces with only one exit. In your dog's ancestral brain, these are exactly the spaces where pack members are most vulnerable to threats. When you close yourself in a small room with limited escape routes, every protective instinct your dog has activates. They position themselves outside that door not because they can't stand to be apart from you for 5 minutes. They're standing guard at the one exit, ensuring nothing can get to you while you're in a compromised position. So that bathroom stalking that seems excessive? It's actually your dog's most serious security protocol. They're treating your most vulnerable moments with the highest level of protection. 7. So let me bring this all together with the one thing I promised you at the beginning, the thing that explains why your dog truly refuses to let you out of their sight. When your dog follows you, their brain releases a steady stream of oxytocin, the bonding hormone we've talked about before. But here's what makes this different from the staring behavior we discussed in another video. A groundbreaking 2021 study from Azabu University discovered that the act of following, the physical movement of staying close to a bonded human, releases oxytocin in pulses that are sustained as long as the proximity is maintained. Unlike a single gaze which creates a spike, following creates a continuous flow of bonding chemistry. Your dog isn't just tolerating the effort of following you room to room. They're actively seeking it out because every step they take in your direction, every adjustment they make to stay close, is flooding their system with the neurochemical equivalent of joy. Following you feels good to them at a biological level they can't control or explain. So when your dog gets up from a comfortable spot to trail you to another room for the 10th time today, they're not being needy or lacking independence. They're choosing, again and again, the activity that brings them the most profound sense of happiness and security that their biology can produce. You're not just their owner or their pack leader. You're their source of sustained, renewable joy, and they're willing to walk 1,000 small steps every single day just to keep that feeling alive. That's not clinginess. That's the purest form of chosen love, expressed in the simplest currency they have, constant, unwavering presence.